And now, your Midday Ark-La-Miss news update.
Good afternoon. Thanks for tuning in to NBC News Daily. I'm Mackenzie Junnigan with your Midday Ark-La-Miss update. Wednesday marked the anniversary of a murder that happened in Ouachita Parish 3 years ago. And as NBC 10's Chelsea Monet reports, authorities haven't made an arrest and the case remains open.
In the spring of 2020, a pregnant mother was found shot and dead in Calhoun in her own home. There's a father mourning the loss of his daughter and unborn granddaughter. We're taking another look at this case to remind you that their killer is still out there. A tragic scene on April 19, 2020, when first responders arrived at the victim's home on Richard Linder Road in Calhoun around 6:30 p.m. that evening. Both Amanda Aldridge and the child she was carrying were pronounced dead at the scene. Investigators interviewed several people, followed many leads, but were never able to make an arrest. 3 years later, the Ouachita Parish Sheriff's Office saying the case remains open and asking anyone with information to call the number on your screen. I spoke with Jimmy Aldridge, Amanda's father. He says it's been 3 long years, but he will not rest until justice is served for his daughter and his granddaughter. For Ark-La-Miss Most Wanted, I'm Chelsea Monet.
For local fugitives that have been captured, pick up a copy of the Justified newspaper at your local convenience store. The legislative session continues and some of our local politicians have some bills they have filed in hopes of creating change in our state. NBC 10's Sydney Lane spoke with Senator Stuart Cathy about the change he wants.
We've got a process right now that a 17-year-old commits a violent crime. They're not necessarily charged as an adult. This bill would automatically charge them as an adult, and then it would be up to the district attorney to come in and say, hey, no, this should be a juvenile. Whereas right now the process is that the district attorney has to make a call to try them as an adult.
Cathy said that the state has an epidemic of juveniles committing crimes and that he's hoping this bill is one way to change that.
When you look at the statistics, there are a significant amount of homicides that are committed by juveniles that are done by 17-year-olds. When you look at carjackings, they are 17-year-olds. And what a lot of the thought is that you've got older career criminals who essentially employ the 17-year-olds because they know that there's no real significant action that can be taken against them. And so they will say, hey, look, I need you to go rob someone. I need you to take care of this issue for me, knowing that they're not going to end up going to jail. And if they do, it's going to be for a very short period of time. And this legislation, again, is just trying to flip that.
One community member expressed how they felt about this bill.
17-year-olds, juvies, I guess what you would say, should go to jail, should go to big boy jail, because a year in juvie doesn't really seem to satisfy what they need to go through. I think that they should be held accountable.
The bill has been introduced in session, but we will continue to update you as it moves through the process.
And now, Storm Tracker Doppler weather with meteorologist Trey Tonneson.
Severe weather potential does remain for the afternoon and evening hours of tonight. It will continue into the day tomorrow, and that's the case due to the potential for some excessive rainfall noted in a level 2 out of 5 slight risk for severe weather development, and then also a level 1 out of 5 marginal risk for severe weather development over to the south and east. Now into the midday today, we will see temperatures into the mid-80s once again, with the potential for strong winds to continue through the overnight hours, and for that reason, severe weather potential is certainly warranted into the evening and into tomorrow morning. Those afternoon storms continue into the afternoon, evening, overnight, into the morning hours of your Friday. Storms will drop those temperatures eventually alongside the passage of the cold front, which will drop our temperatures into the late weekend. Clouds really start to dissipate into your Saturday morning, but continue to build back up not only through Sunday, but into next week as temperatures remain fairly low and much lower than seasonable averages, with lows into the 50s and even maybe the upper 40s for some folks, depending on your area. But overall, watch yourself tonight. Have multiple ways to get warnings.